Hey guys, welcome back. I want to talk to you today about the accessories that I put on my bike from Amazon. I know a lot of you guys probably shy away from buying Amazon products because you're worried about quality. I've had some of these on my bike for over a year, and I just want to kind of go through those and tell you how they performed. A lot of these will fit on 24, 25 Road Glide and Street Glide. The only thing that's model specific is the windshield, and I've got a couple of different ones of those to show you. So stick around, let's check it out. Okay, I want to start with the ones that have been on here the longest, and that would be my passenger floorboards. As you can see, these match the stock streamliners exactly, and give your passenger a lot more space. You can hear they click into place when you lift them, so there's no rattling around. These have been great. They've held up wonderful. You can see that after a year, and I use these on my Street Glide too. When I bought these, I actually put them on my Street Glide. So they've been on two different motorcycles, and they've held up perfectly. And she stands up on one of these to get on the bike. She'll put her foot on one and put her entire weight on, swing her leg over, and never had any problems. And they look great. So those are great. The links, again, will be down below, and that way you can go check them out on Amazon for yourself. I might as well go ahead and show you these, because these are the original passenger pegs off the bike right here. I took those off and used them for my highway pegs because they match these streamliners as well. But these highway peg mounts right here, now these will say on the ad that they don't fit the 24 Road Glide. And I've been using these things for over a year on this bike, and they fit perfectly. You do have to do a little bit of adjusting because this crash guard doesn't have as much room for them to go in, so it's kind of hard to find the exact spot. But once you find the spot, they're perfect, and I got them tightened up. They don't move. You can adjust them a ton of different ways. You got a bolt in here. You can adjust the flatness of the peg. You got some screws back here. You can adjust the tilt. Then, of course, you can adjust how far up they go this way or that way. And then, of course, you can adjust how far they go in or out on the crash bar. So they're very adjustable, and I've not had a problem with those either. And again, those have been on there for about a year, or actually over a year. I bought the bike in April of last year, so they've been on there just about as long as I've had the bike. And these mid-frame air deflectors, those have been on the bike for over a year, and I feel like those do a great job at deflecting some of the heat. But the main reason I buy these is for the looks, because if you don't have those, it just looks empty back there behind the backside of the engine. It comes with everything you need to install them, and they look great. You can get different colors if you want chrome. If you want flat black, you can get that. There's some different options, so just check them out, see what you got. Again, all the links are below. Next one I'll show you is these crash bars that I put on. I've not had any problems with those. Those are very strong. They bolt right up to the stock locations on the bike. So shouldn't have any problem with those either. I've not dropped the bike onto these. I don't anticipate them to be a problem if I do, because they do stick out quite a bit further than the bag. So if you have a problem, they're going to definitely stop the bike. They look great. They match the rest of the blacked out sections of the bike. So that's another win. I think for the money I have saved on these compared to other name brands and those foot pegs and just those three or four items I've shown you, I've saved several $100s. This Ben Laurie 26-inch backrest has been on here for several months. It matches right up to the Harley-Davidson docking hardware. That is stock docking hardware, so it is mounted right up to that without a problem. It doesn't move. This backrest is really good because it's taller, and I think it makes the bike look good. My wife likes this backrest because it is taller. It supports her up higher in the middle of her back. She likes the other one as well because it's a lower lumbar support. So depending on what type of ride we're doing, she likes both of these backrests. And I'll show you the other one that's not installed in a bit. But that, like I said, that's the Ben Laurie 26-inch backrest. Next one I'll show you is this seat bolt, and obviously pretty self-explanatory. It's a seat bolt, but it's black and it matches the rest of the bike, and you don't need a tool to take it off like the one that comes on the bike when you buy it. So that was definitely a good change as well. I don't have to get out a screwdriver or a Torx driver to change my seat. These black bag latch levers, or whatever you want to call them, the original ones were chrome. These fit perfectly, and you put them in there, and there's one screw in the inside there. You change it out, and they match. They fit perfectly, and they match the rest of the bike perfectly. It looks great. I'm not sure why those were chrome from the factory, but very inexpensive to change, and a lot less money than buying the ones from Harley-Davidson or other name brands. And they're exactly the same thing. I've never had any problem with these. They look and work just as good. This coil cover is still looks as good as it did the day that I put it on. No problem with rattling, no problem with coming loose. It comes with its own mounting screw. It's a little bit longer, and this just mounts right over the top of the coil, and no problems with anything overheating, anything like that. It's good quality, it looks great, cleans up nice when it's dirty. Another great one that I've had on the whole time I've had the bike. So again, link will be down below. Check that out. These side fairing extension panels have been on the bike for several months, and as you can see, I have painted mine. But they look great. They've held up great. They don't flap when you're riding. They don't fly off. They line up with the bike body. The body lines really well. And I actually like the way it makes the bike look. Just gives it a sportier look, kind of like the STs and things, and the CVOs. It just looks better, I think, in my opinion. But again, those were very inexpensive. $120 maybe for that. You're going to pay several $100s for the set from Harley and other brands that are putting these out as well. So this will save you a ton of money. Okay, this one down underneath here, the skid plate that I've got on the bike, has been protecting the bottom of the bike, all the tubes and wires and hoses and such, whatever's under there. Very simple to install, and it gives you a little bit more peace of mind knowing that all that stuff's protected, because it's kind of out in the open down there. A lot of stuff flying up from the road. That definitely protects it, and it is solid. It is a really solid piece. It's made out of aluminum, and it's got venting there to keep anything from getting too hot. Yeah, I don't think it would anyway, but it definitely has enough venting holes there to keep from getting hot. That's one that I really am most glad that I did, because I don't want to have anything break down there. One of the tubes one of the hoses get a rock up in it and make a hole. So that one's a little bit of peace of mind, keep me from worrying about issues like that. This heel shifter right here, I think I paid $17 for, and it pretty much matches the other one. The heel shifter itself has not given me any problems at all. It's not slipped, it's not fallen off, and as you can see, it's not broken either. So I think that thing's a win as well. A lot of people don't use those anymore because they don't come on bikes, but if you want to put one on, they're very inexpensive. It's crazy how much different prices are when you put the name brand on them, because I feel like some of these parts they're getting, probably most of these parts they're getting that are like this, are coming from overseas anyway. So it's not like you're really doing yourself any favors by buying from Harley, other than paying Harley more money than what you should. So anyway, check that one out. For one that's not been on as long, this one's only been on for a couple of weeks. Linkage right there, shift linkage. Fits perfectly. I did not have to lengthen it at all. It was the exact size at its shortest length for my bike. Obviously you can change the length to adjust your shifter height, which I was happy with mine. Since I use a heel shifter, I don't care about how high that is, really. I mean, it's about what it is when I bought the bike. So I'm okay with where it's at. I left it like it was. And again, these parts that I've shown you should all fit the 25 and 24 Road Glide and Street Glide. Another one that I've had up here for a very long time, several months, are these mirrors. You can see those are kind of, I hate to have my dirty garage in the background, but you can see those mirrors are nice and machined in the middle there. It gives you kind of a look that maybe matches some of the stuff you get on your bike. I kind of like that look, so that's why I went with it. But they have a nice big viewing area on the mirror itself, and They bolt right in. I assume these will fit on these street glides as well, because there should be a hole right here in the lever where these mount in the brake and clutch levers, just like this. I know that the street glide comes with mirrors up on the fairing, but those should be able to be mounted if you have that hole. I assume you do. I'm not sure. My old street glide did, but so you better just check if you're interested in mirrors. Make sure they will fit what you're doing, and they definitely fit the Road Glide 24-25. So if you have a street glide, definitely check to make sure that mounting hole is there. Another one that's only been on for a few months is this windshield. This is a 9.5 inch flare windshield, and it's a smoke tint. This windshield replaced my 11.5 inch windshield that I had bought from Amazon as well. Not because it wasn't working correctly, but just because I wanted something a little shorter. Like I said, that was 11.5 inches. This is 9.5, so I'm not... The other one I was looking over as well, but just right at the edge, and I didn't really like to have it that close to my line of sight because it was black. You couldn't really see through it, so I went with this one, and it gives basically the same amount of wind protection as the taller one. So I'm pretty happy with that switch out, and I will show you the 11.5 inch one as well if you're looking for something taller, because you can get that in clear and smoked as well, so you can see through it. Another one that I just put on a couple weeks ago is this phone mount. And it's very strong. It's got 5 points of contact on your phone. They're like fingers, almost like holding your phone with your hand. And it has these rubber stoppers on the back. It's got these on the mounts all the way around, so it keeps it from getting bounced around and that kind of thing. Sorry for the bad angle. But anyway, it has a little thumb screw here that you tighten down. There's two big socket joints or ball and socket joints here, so you can adjust it and give you 720 degrees of rotation. And you got one here, slide down here, and then this one slides on the side too. And my phone is a Galaxy S23, I believe, so it's a big phone, and it fits in here perfectly with lots of room to go. So if you have an even bigger phone, that's definitely going to hold that. And I rode all the way to Indiana and back with this phone attached to this holder, and didn't make a move, didn't fall, nothing. So it's very strong, very reliable, and very inexpensive. Okay, so here's the stuff I don't have on the bike at the moment. Now I'm currently running this backrest, so it's got a different base than this one does. They're both just as comfortable. I'm just kind of swapping between the two just to see which one I like better. This one is the one I used when I rode to Indiana and back a couple of weeks ago. Not a problem with I put about 2,500 miles on the bike with this backrest on. And before that, this is the one I had up until I got this one a few months ago. So this one's been on several months, and this one's been on several months. So they're both great. They're both very high quality. Neither one of them's had any problems, and they're both easy to install. This one's easier, obviously, to put in and out when you're putting it on the bike, because it's just to slide in and it clicks in place. This one you got to squeeze the rods together at the bottom, but it's not really that big a deal. And this luggage rack, again, is something that just bolts right up to the stock Harley-Davidson 4-point docking hardware. And same thing with this backrest. This is just a passenger backrest. The one I was speaking about earlier, it's a little bit lower on my wife, so has a different support compared to that other one, that taller Bin Laurie one. But it also matches right up to the Harley-Davidson docking hardware, so I don't have any trouble putting either one of those on or taking them off. This is the 11.5 inch windshield that I bought initially from Amazon. That is still, I still like the windshield. It did a great job. It was just a little bit too tall and too dark, so I went with a smaller one. And this one, if you like something this tall, if you like a taller windshield, this would definitely do the trick. And it, like I said, it did a great job with the wind, and just was a little too tall for my liking. Plus, and you can barely see through that. And when it's on the bike, it's even worse. But anyway, if you like the black windshield, that one's actually a pretty nice one. And I wasn't unhappy with how it worked. I just needed a smaller windshield. These Kimimoto saddlebag liners, these are awesome, and they have not had any failures or any problems. They're a little tight to put on, but they do fit. They are marked right and left so you know which one's which, but a lot of storage. I have my manual and stuff in there, and then I have some other stuff in there. I keep sunblock and things in those, but yeah, those kind of help a lot. You don't have some stuff that's just flopping around in the bag. And this is the left side, and it has a couple of netted compartments here, some straps here if you need to hang something in there, and it's got a zippered compartment here, and then a big Velcro closure here. And those, again, like I said, they fit really good. They're a little bit tight to get in there, but once you get them in there, they're perfect, and they keep you from having stuff that flops around in the bag, like my glasses or sunglasses go in here to keep them from getting all scratched up. So they work great. The last one I'm going to share with you are these tail lights. These are smoked tail lights, and they are pretty dirty right now, so they're not scratched or anything. It's just dirt from super bright, and they work perfectly. And I did not have to get rid of these painted body color trim pieces. You know, on some of those other brands, you got to take all this off, and they fit down into those old into those frame pieces down here where the filler lights used to go. And to me, that just makes them harder to see because you're sinking them down behind the bag, you know, and you, at least out here, you still got a little bit of visibility from the side with the lights like that. I mean, not a lot, but better than having them sunken down all the way behind the bag. And I'm really happy with those two, and I'm glad that I bought those. They're really super bright, like I said, and they light up and perform and look just like the stock ones. They're just smoked. And the red is bright enough, even though it's a darker lens, it's still bright enough. The turn signals are super bright, and that one is, like I said, is one that I'm really glad that I put on. So that should be all of them. Quite a bit of things there that I put on from Amazon that I've had not one single problem with. Everything mounts right up like it's supposed to, and again, I said the only thing that would probably be model specific will be the windshield because it's the Road Glide with a different fairing. Everything else should fit the 24, 25 Street Glides as well because they're basically the same bike from the fairing back. So check out all the links below. I really appreciate you guys stopping by to watch the video. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for coming back. Y'all be safe, and we'll see you on the next one.